First off, I'd like to thank everybody for I'm so sick of this filthy individual! All that aside, yes, I still exist. Now, you may be wondering,
who is this Mixel? Where have you been after a week?
And
when will Captain Underpants and the Big Back Battle of the Bionic Booker Board Part 2 fandom be released?
Well, first off, this is Firein, my avatar exclusively for this YouTube channel. My best friend designed it. Thank you, Seth. Secondly, I know, I haven't uploaded for a week because of demotivation. Of course! I remember Daddy told me fairy tales can come true. You gotta make them happen. Wait! Who added this clip? And thirdly, don't worry, that fandom is still in production and will be released sometime soon. I just need to wait until this guy finishes recording his lines. In the meantime, how about I read this book? Seth, I need your help! Seth, can you hear me? Seth? Well, since Seth doesn't want to calm down, let's get to the questions right away. But first, let me update the answers I gave in the last Q&A. Don't judge me, I need this one to be longer. Let's begin. Would you make a bad game review series? In the last Q&A, I said that if Cinemassacre leaves, I'll make a bad game review series. But today, no. I won't do that. I don't want to suffer through bad games for your entertainment. Sorry. What is your favorite episode from Mixels? In the last Q&A, I went on and on and on about why Every Night Since His Day is my favorite episode from Mixels. Like seriously, past self, wasn't that enough? Also, I said this. Like seriously, I love this episode. Why is this not on YouTube in full yet? Well, I got my answer. But that leaves another question. How did Nixel Go Away fandom still on YouTube without being copyright blocked thing by Cartoon Network themselves, huh? But anyway, my second favorite episode from the obscure show is Cookie Roni. So, what is your favorite franchise? In the last Q&A, I talked about video game franchises that I liked, like Mario, Puyo Puyo, and for some random reason, Anime Uno. Keep in mind that back then I was obsessed with Uno. This time, I'll talk about my favorite comics and graphic novels, aka books. So, my favorite book franchise of all time is Queen Allaby. And those are the old questions with updated answers. Let's go on to the new questions. What is your favorite Mixel from each tribe from Series 1? Listen, I know this is the first 9 Mixels in the series, but if we compare this with future series like Series 2 to 9, then this series is so boring. I mean, we had the fire dudes, the caveman, and a brilliant Mixel surrounded by 2 idiots. One of them liking ham-loaded sandwiches for some reason. But if I had to choose one Mixel from each tribe in this series, I'll go with Volk, Shove, and Teslo. What's your reaction to my AU series Mixels 1000 Ways to Die, you ask? Well, I couldn't find a video about it. I just saw the wiki page about it. But still, this AU series sounds interesting. Keep it up! What was your opinion on the Mixels Unite?
Done. I'm so done. I'm so done. Gotta be kidding me. I thought I was done with this.
Well, thanks a lot for ruining my 2025. If you weren't the only person to ruin my 2025. What your favorite Mixel characters? Oh boy, we're going back to the old questions. If you didn't know, in the last Q&A, I said that my favorite Mixel characters were Camulet and Glowert, or Mr. Fabulous as I nicknamed him. But looking back at this, I'm shocked that I want to marry Dave Fenoyd, the voice actor of both Glowert and Boogly in that special. But anyway, my opinion stays the same. There's no change whatsoever. I was originally going to add Booger as my favorite, but since I hate him in Nixel Go Away because of that stupid flanderization, Like seriously, I blame the ninjas for that. Then he's not here. Question for Lin. Have you noticed that Rocket's face is funny in things that go merpid at night? Yes, it is. But like I said in the last Q&A, I consider Moon Madness, and those Mixels shorts related to Moon Madness, to be one of the weirdest episodes from Mixels. To heck with it. A, what was your favorite video game when you were little? Oh boy, do I remember this game even when I was older. That game is... Crash Nitro Kart! Like seriously, I can't imagine how many times I played this game with my older brother on my parents' PS2. It was amazing! But I remember that this game didn't come in its original disc. It was a 3-on-1 disc that includes Crash Nitro Kart, Crash the Wrath of Cortex, and Crash to Insanity. And this includes one of the greatest game selection songs of all time. I know it's simple, but man, this was nostalgic for me. Also off topic, but I remember that my parents used the PS2 as their personal DVD player. Thanks to that, I got to experience the Peanuts movie from 2015. I just wish that one day I will go to the market and ask the person who sold DVDs a copy of the Captain Underpants the very first movie so I can play in my parents' PS2 in the reading room and see two people walking in my house and say, "Hey, this guy's watching the Captain Underpants the very first movie on his PS2!
I wonder who did that.
Latin America, ladies and gentlemen. Latin America. B. If someone you hate makes an apology letter for you, what would you do? Well, I'll accept their apology. Except for that girl and her awful drawings and Rule 34 artists. Like seriously, don't be perverts. It's bad for your health. And lastly C. Which animal would be better? A camel or a turtle? I don't know why you want me to answer this question, but in that case, I'll choose a camel. And finally, the last question for today is... Do you get inspired by non-Mixel related channels? If so, who? Oh boy, this is going to be the longest answer ever. So to get this out of the way, no. I did not get inspired by Seth's fandoms. I'll save that inspiration for another time. But anyway, in September 2024, I was searching for audiobooks on YouTube when I discovered some Captain Underpants read-alongs with a guy and two kids reading it.
Meet George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flat top.
We rule!
Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now.
Me too. Hey George, this book is about us.
And back then, I didn't know who was reading it. So I decided to go deeper and search Captain Underpants on the Internet Archive and scroll down to see the same read-along and voice.
Meet George Beard and Harold Hutchins. George is the kid on the left with the tie and the flat top.
We rule!
Harold is the one on the right with the t-shirt and the bad haircut. Remember that now.
Me too. Hey George, this book is about us.
But I was about to discover that the guy who was reading those books was Lein Forgione. And those two kids were Dan John Freeman and Ben D'Amico. And what I also discovered was that those read-alongs were official. Yeah, Scholastic made those read-alongs. So I listened to those books and said to myself, I want to do Captain Underpants read-alongs! Little did I know that this would be changed to fandubs. Anyway, I asked Seth and Ock if they were interested to reading these books, and they accepted it. And that's how the Captain Underpants fandubs were born. And I say that in quotations because these are read-alongs disguised as fandubs. So if you want to see or hear Lein Forgione's works, I'll leave a link in the description to see and hear his work. Note, most of his work is based on Captain Underpants. But seriously, Lein Forgione, if you're watching this, thank you for inspiring me to keep reading along. Phew! And with that, we finished this Q&A. What do you think of it? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps the channel and continues to create this type of projects. And thank you so much for 700 subscribers. I gotta go now. See you!